I want to speak directly to you, not as a voice on the screen, but as a fellow human being who cares deeply. You sitting there searching for hope, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, you are stronger than you know. I've seen what depression can do. I've seen patients walk in holding the kind of pain that makes life feel intolerable. But I've also seen that same pain become the bedrock of resilience. Because here's the truth: strength is not the absence of struggle. Strength is the willingness to stay alive, to wake up, to breathe, to show up. Every morning you choose to endure, every tiny step you take, those are triumphs. I know the voice in your head may tell you otherwise, but that voice is not the truth. The truth is that you've made it this far. You're still here, you're still breathing. You do not need to carry shame for how you feel. Sadness, anxiety, hopelessness. These are not signs of weakness. These are not signs of weakness. They are signals that your human spirit is still searching for healing. The bravest thing you can do is reach for help. It takes strength to say, I can't do this alone. It takes wisdom to trust a therapist, to lean on a friend, to call a helpline, or to just say aloud, I need help. In my years as a physician, I've held the hands of people feeling lost, and together we found light again. We mapped small steps, therapy, medication when needed, walks when the world felt suffocating, breathing when panic stormed. We built routines so small they seemed insignificant until one day they turned into new roots, grounding them to life again. You know, I've sat across from thousands of patients in my career, and if there's one thing I wish I could erase from their minds, it's the idea that depression means they're weak. It's heartbreaking to see someone who is already in pain also feeling ashamed for that pain. Depression is not weakness, it is not a flaw in your character. It is a medical condition, a sign that something in your brain and body needs care, attention, and healing. If you break a bone, no one tells you to just snap out of it. If your blood pressure is high, no one calls you lazy for taking medication. Yet when the mind hurts, society often whispers unhelpful things like, be stronger, cheer up, or don't be so dramatic. My message to you is simple: needing help does not make you weak. Ignoring your pain is not strength, acknowledging it is. You see, depression affects the brain on a chemical and structural level. It changes how your neurotransmitters, your brain's chemical messengers, function. It can disrupt your sleep, appetite, memory, and ability to experience pleasure. That's not something you can think your way out of, any more than you can think a fever away. As a doctor, I want you to understand this truth. Depression is a real biological condition that requires a real structured approach to healing. This might include therapy, lifestyle changes, medication, support systems, or often a combination of these. The sooner you accept that depression is legitimate, the sooner you can begin walking toward recovery. Now, I know the word recovery can feel distant, even impossible when you're in the middle of that darkness. Depression lies to you. It tells you you're alone, that you'll never feel joy again, that your presence doesn't matter. But here's the science-backed truth. Depression is treatable. People do get better. And even when it feels like you're making no progress, small actions, getting out of bed, eating one nutritious meal, talking to a friend, are victories. Your brain may not reward you with happiness right away, but you're planting seeds for healing. I've seen patients who once told me they couldn't imagine living another year go on to rebuild careers, start families, and laugh again. You may not believe it right now, but your story can change too. I want you to think of depression not as a wall, but as a fog. When you're inside it, you can't see the way forward. But that doesn't mean the path isn't there. It is. You just need guidance and time for the fog to lift. This is where asking for help becomes the most powerful thing you can do. Whether it's talking to a doctor, reaching out to a therapist, confiding in a trusted friend, or joining a support group, you are building a bridge out of that fog. And let me tell you, bridges aren't built by force of will alone. They are built with tools, plans, and support. Finally, let me say this: your value is not determined by your productivity. your energy level, or your mood on any given day. You have value simply because you exist. You are more than your depression. You are more than your darkest thoughts. You are a human being with a heart that still beats, and that alone means there is hope for your healing. I've seen people rise from the deepest valleys, and every single one of them started by rejecting the lie that their pain made them weak. They started by saying, "I need help." And that was the moment they took their first step toward the light. So if you hear nothing else from me today, hear this. Depression is not weakness, it's a signal. And signals are meant to be answered, not ignored. Answer yours. Reach out. Take that next step. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve to feel the sunlight again. You know, when people come to my clinic with a broken arm, they never apologize for it. They never say, "Doctor, I'm sorry for bothering you. I should have been stronger." But when people come in with depression, I can almost see the weight of shame on their faces before they even sit down. They tell me things like, "I don't know why I feel this way," or "I should be able to handle it." And my answer is always the same. You are handling it. You're here. You're seeking help. That's not weakness, that's courage. Depression is not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that your mind and body are asking for care. Think about it. If your car's engine light came on, would you say, "Well, I'll just keep driving until it explodes"? Or would you take it to a mechanic? Your mind is sending you signals, and ignoring them doesn't make you strong. It makes the problem worse. Strength is facing the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Let's be clear, depression is not simply feeling sad. It is a complex medical condition. It affects the balance of neurotransmitters in your brain, chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. These aren't just happy chemicals, they affect your ability to think clearly, make decisions, feel pleasure, and regulate your emotions. This is why telling someone with depression to just cheer up is like telling someone with asthma to just breathe harder. It ignores the reality of the illness. I want you to understand something very important. You are not your depression. Depression is something you experience, not who you are. If you've been living in this darkness for a while, it can trick you into thinking it's part of your identity, but it's not. You are a person who has strengths, talents, and a future that depression is trying to hide from you. The fog you're in right now is temporary, even if it feels endless. I've seen people at rock bottom, people who couldn't imagine making it to the next week, rise again. I remember a patient, a young man, who came to me saying he felt like he was drowning every day. He had no motivation to get out of bed, no joy in the things he once loved. We started with small steps, therapy sessions, short daily walks, structured routines, and yes, medication when it was needed. 6 months later, he told me, "I feel like I've been underwater for years, and now I'm finally coming up for air." He didn't get better overnight, but little by little he climbed out of that darkness. And here's the truth, you can too. You don't have to fight this battle alone. There are therapists, support groups, doctors, and friends who want to walk with you through this, but you have to give yourself permission to reach out. Now, I know the question in your mind might be, what if I try and nothing changes? I understand that fear, but what if you try and everything changes? What if you look back a year from now and realize that the decision you made today to talk, to get help, to take one small step was the moment your life began to turn around? Your worth is not measured by how much you accomplish when you're struggling. Your worth is not measured by how many days you feel strong. Your worth is not something that can be erased by an illness. You have value because you are here, and as long as you are here, there is hope for you to heal, to grow, and to experience joy again. If you take nothing else from my words today, take this: depression is not weakness, it's a wound, and wounds can heal. You deserve that healing. You deserve to feel the sun again, and no matter what your mind tries to tell you in your lowest moments, the truth is this: you are stronger than you think, so don't give up. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Your story is still being written, and the best chapters are yet to come.